Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. So today I want to talk about this big battle once again at $51,000 and why I think the Bears are going to lose. It's futile. There is so much going on around the world, and if you just pay attention, you'll realize that the big money, the smart money, the holders are simply buying more. So whatever's going on right now is temporary, and why you should ignore it. You should ignore it. I know a lot of people recently has entered this space and been worried about the volatility, but it's so low, it's not really something that you need to worry about. What I stress is have strong hands, diamond hands, don't panic sell, dollar cost average, and hold them. So today's trade, let me talk about Bitcoin, what's going on at 51,000, all the bullish news that has come out today, and also, of course, talk about some altcoin news, some very positive ones, and then let's do some good old Q&A. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, 2 streams every day, 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so make sure you hit that notification bell, hit that, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Facebook. All right. So let's get started. Those of you guys that's already in the chat, welcome. And let me change my screen here. All right. Here we go. So Bitcoin is at $50,726. You know, I swear, I don't know if it's a phenomenon or I'm being paranoid, but I swear maybe there's their F2 pool or some other whales are looking at BitBoy's stream, because as soon as he started streaming, Bitcoin started coming down, because this morning Bitcoin has been quite steady above 51,000. It's been holding there, went up as high as 51,300, came down a little bit. But yeah, you know, you can see the battle going on right now, right? Bitcoin just keeps pressing higher and higher and higher, and every time it hits 51,000, it's chipping away at this wall. So that's why I think this is just futile from the bears. Whoever really wants to keep 51,000, you know what? They're going to lose, because the whole world, the whole world is not stopping. They're not stopping just because Bitcoin is at 51,000. They're continuing on. They're buying. They're creating services. There's more adoption each and every day. And there's a lot of news today that I'm going to share with you guys that relates to that. So while this is still happening, you know, the rest of the market is kind of hovering today, overall up 1%. There are some movers, like Ethereum is still doing very well, up 4% today, so it's gaining some strength. Others, you have Uniswap, Chainlink got up a good 9%. Some people were fearful that it stalled out. No, I mean, things come, you know, in phases. Sometimes they do get a little stagnant, and other times they move really, really quickly, right? So that's why I stress, when you have a buying opportunity, when there's bargains to be had, take advantage, because things will come back up, and then you're going to gain from that, right? So before I get into Q&A and talk about altcoins, what is going on with our friends at F2 Pool? So it does seem like, you know, the last 2 days I've been mentioning about how outflow is really, 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 really small. Very tiny. But it does seem like this morning they ramped up a little bit. If this loads, this is ridiculously slow right now. Probably a lot of people are trying to refresh this. But you could see this morning there was a pretty big outflow, about 2,000 Bitcoins. Besides that, there was a smaller one, about 600, but you could see overall volume from the 5th, especially the 6th, dropped substantially. 7th dropped substantially, like really, really low, almost no outflow. And then the 8th, yes, there was an outflow. So again, is this mysterious whale or bear F2 pool, or a miner from F2 pool, or a combination? Could be. But if this is any indication, if the last few days is any indication of how much Bitcoin is left that they're trying to dump, well, I mean, it seems like they're running out, right? This it's clear why all of a sudden, you know, the outflow is so low compared to the previous weeks, right? So it could be that whoever this person is done selling, or they're done trying because they have lost so much trying to suppress Bitcoin's price and it's just not happening. So that could be it. That could be it. But there was one final outflow, at least a giant one, about 2,000 Bitcoins, which is pretty substantial. Again, it came right at about 50,000. So maybe some of that is being used to keep Bitcoin below 51,000. But again, let's just let's see what happens, right? This is very, very promising. The last few days I've been talking about outflow being small, stimulus being passed, broader markets rallying, right? It's only going to help Bitcoin. So I haven't shown this in a while. This shows all the longs and short liquidations, and you could see that recently the shorters, the bears, they're starting to lose a little more, but you could see that the red, which is the longs, is still pretty substantial. So it does seem like there's still games going on, right? In terms of people that's trying to go long or short with these leverage contracts, they're still getting wrecked. Not as wrecked as like this point right here, but they're still getting wrecked. So this is why you still need to be careful. There are still people that are out there that is manipulating the leverage, manipulating the exchanges to make sure that people get wrecked by going long or short. So yeah, you gotta be very careful indeed. But I can't wait until Bitcoin rallies finally and makes the next leg up to 60, 70, 80, $90,000 and watch all the shorts get wrecked and see the inverse of that on the other side. I'm waiting for that to happen. Hold on a second. It is ridiculously hot in my room. Ridiculously hot, especially when I have the door closed. All right, so moving on. Let's look at this. Galaxy Digital, owned by Mike Novogratz. They are about to launch their huge Bitcoin ETF in Canada. Since Canada already approved Bitcoin ETFs, now they're all flying. But this one is supposed to be big. That they go rival the biggest one right now from Purpose Investments. And I decided to look at them. They've only been out for like a few weeks, and they already have $713 million of the Bitcoin in their fund. So roughly 11,445 Bitcoins. So that's a lot just for operating within a few weeks' time. When Bitcoin futures came out, the volume was ridiculously low for such a long time. But this is now a different time period, right? Obviously, Bitcoin being at 51,000 is very different than when Bitcoin was crashing from 20,000. So this is going to cause more money to flow into the market, I believe. Galaxy Digital themselves own a ton of Bitcoin. Mike Novogratz, one of the earlier guys to get involved with Bitcoin and create Galaxy Digital, very bullish on Bitcoin. He's always been talking a big game about Bitcoin. He kind of, after 2017, 2018, 2019, he stopped making predictions because obviously they started going down, but he held true, and now his company is going like all out, right? So I think this is going to be big. This is going to bring more money into this space. And again, this is what I'm saying. All this is happening because there's so much demand going on. It's not like, okay, I'm going to create an ETF, but then no one's going to buy it, right? No, they've already done the research. They know people, institutions, and retail investors, and just average investors, they really want exposure to Bitcoin, but they don't want to go through the trouble of owning their Bitcoin, securing the Bitcoin, dealing with exchanges. They'd much rather just buy a fund that gets them exposure, and that's what a Bitcoin ETF is all about. So this is coming. Now, what else is there? Well, PayPal confirms that they have finally bought the custodian company Curve, and this makes a whole lot of sense. PayPal, I don't know how much Bitcoin they sell per day, but it's probably substantial. They have 300 million clients. That's an enormous amount of people that's using PayPal, and they have I think last count was 25 million merchants too. So obviously they're in the business of trading Bitcoin, so they need to have it, right? They're operating as their own exchange. So of course you need to have a good custodian to be able to secure all that. So that's why they're buying Curve, right? So this is another another very bullish thing. I wish PayPal would release more numbers. We don't get that much statistics out of like guys like Cash App or PayPal or Robinhood. But if they did release, it'll be interesting to see, because I bet they're going through so much every single week that, you know, they're trying to fulfill. They're probably buying through the OTC market. But yeah, it's probably tens, hundreds of millions each week. I would not doubt that at all. All right, so that's also very positive. Now, look at this, NYDIG. They made headlines earlier this year. They are the company that actually got Mass Mutual involved with Bitcoin, helped them purchase $100 million of Bitcoin, and Mass Mutual took a 5% equity stake in NYDIG. They just decided to raise funding, and now there's $200 million that went into NYDIG to expand, and you have the Soros Group and Morgan Stanley, among others, that are now involved and that are part owners at NYDIG. So again, kind of shows you. The reason why this is happening is because all these big guys from Wall Street, they want exposure to Bitcoin and Bitcoin companies and Bitcoin services, right? They know Bitcoin's not going to go away anytime soon. They know Bitcoin is going to go much higher. So of course, you want to get your money working for you. So that's why these guys are getting involved. And NYDIG, if you think about them, they're like, I would say they're a smaller version of Grayscale, but maybe not. They're actually pretty big. So obviously they're based in New York, but they help institutions buy crypto, store crypto, and advise them on many things. And I didn't really hear about them until Mass Mutual, but if you look into them, they're actually quite big. They're actually quite big. So they're kind of like a Grayscale 2.0, except they don't sell any Grayscale. I mean, they don't sell any trust, but kind of do the same thing. What else is there? 40% of Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs recently said that they're reopening the crypto trading desk. So 2017, they said they were going to do it. 2018, they closed their desk. Now 2021, they're going to do it again. And they already surveyed their clients. And 40% of their clients already said that they have exposure into crypto, probably owning Grayscale Bitcoin Trust or owning ETF or owning Bitcoin themselves. So obviously they're going to dive in, right? They're going to dive in, but they are planning on just helping their clients with Bitcoin futures at this point. Now this could evolve to many other things, but again, another Wall Street company that, you know, of course they want to dive into Bitcoin. They don't want to lose out. They don't want to become dinosaurs. So they definitely want a piece of the pie. All right. So I think that's it for Bitcoin news. Now, I did see this. I hate seeing CoinDesk release articles like this because every single IRS article from CoinDesk just like scares the bejesus out of you about how the IRS is going to attack anyone that failed to report any crypto earnings and this and that, even though the IRS has not been very good at giving real guidance, and they keep changing the guidance on what you're supposed to do and what counts as a taxable report event and stuff, right? But Coinbase always have this. They always have it. So there's some new operation called Hidden Treasure that they're going to partner up with other agencies or whatever, and they're going to track down everyone that never reported or inaccurately reported. I don't know. I don't know how serious it is, but it always sounds pretty serious from CoinDesk. But I just want to let you guys know. You guys probably see that banner. I did partner up with CryptoTrader.tax. So if you guys, need some help, right? They do provide tax guidance, and also their reporting system allows you to very easily pull all your trades from all the exchanges out there so that you could accurately report your taxes. So just FYI, 20% code in the description of this video, and they're giving out a free report every single week. So all you have to do is sign up. So that's a good plug for my sponsor right there. All right, moving on to some altcoin news. So Mark Cuban now is also shilling Doge like crazy. We know that Elon loves Doge. He has not opened up crypto payments yet in terms of buying Teslas with, say, Bitcoin or Doge, but that's going to happen. But Mark Cuban took the step and said, yeah, I'm going to open up. So you could use Doge to buy Mavs merchandise or pay for tickets and so forth. And recently he said that it was actually a very big success. They've done over 20,000 Dogecoin transactions, making them already the largest Dogecoin merchant in the world. Somehow he's jumping onto the Dogecoin bandwagon, and now he said that if they sell another $6.5 billion worth of, or not billion dollars, 6.5 billion Dogecoins worth of merchandise, it would definitely hit $1. So now he's saying Dogecoin is going to go from 5 cents or 6 cents, wherever it is, to $1. So now you have some really big and celebrities that's really backing Dogecoin. But again, for people that argue, oh, Dogecoin is a meme coin, has no purpose, well, there's a purpose. You can utilize it to spend, right? Just like any other cryptocurrency out there. So I'm not a fan that Mark Cuban all of a sudden is shilling it, but it is showing, it is proving that there is purpose to Dogecoin. All right, so last few things. One, I don't know how many of you guys caught my video from yesterday. I created a video about low cap gems, LTO Network, Luxo, and B-Pro. One thing I missed about LTO Network, and it's a big one, so I want to clarify, is that they are partnered up with the United Nations too to release the world's first open source land registry. That's pretty big. Whenever you're working with United Nations, that's a big thing. So yesterday when I was covering them, I was looking at partnerships, and they are partnered up with IBM, but they're also partnered up with a lot of smaller companies. I forgot to mention this, so I did want to mention that. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Another one that a lot of you guys have been paying attention to that I don't know how much coverage I did so far, but Chiliz is definitely a big project. They're getting bigger and bigger. So this was one that was released about last week, but I want to share with you guys. So Chiliz is it's an NFT play, but it's not really. But yeah, I guess it is. But basically, they're like a blockchain that helps fans and football clubs, non-American football, to interact and give them, kind of give them a vote on what the team wants to do, and you can utilize it to buy certain items. You could also trade those tokens. There's an individual token for basically all the teams that signed up. But right now, it's mostly in Europe. Now they're expanding to the U.S. and they want to work with the sports leagues here in the U.S. to do the same thing. And they were recently added in Binance, and Binance also is going to allow them to basically trade these fan tokens on Binance, not just through their own Chiliz exchange. So I think this is pretty big. So for those of you guys wondering why Chiliz has been on fire recently and why it keeps going up, this is the reason. So I did cover Chiliz. I did create a video about them. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know about that. Also, for those of you guys that are movie buffs, you may be looking forward to this new Godzilla vs. Kong movie, or Kong vs. Godzilla. I know I am. I can't wait until it goes on HBO. But just so you know, the producer of it, Legendary Entertainment, they're partnered up with a company called Terra, and Terra is an NFT marketplace. So they're going to be coming out with a lot of things based on this movie. And I don't know how popular it is. It could be. But Terra is a very, very up-and-coming marketplace because they teamed up with a couple different movie studios, Paramount, I believe, and Legendary Entertainment. So they do have some exclusive stuff on there. So I just wanted to mention that because I'm a big movie buff. But recently there has not been any good movies. So, but just want to give you guys a heads up on this NFT play. And lastly, I was looking at good old Peter Salty Schiff and what he's been saying about gold, because gold has been going down quite a bit. It's like 1,700 and it looks like it could go even lower. So now he's making excuses why gold is going down. Right? Gold is falling because bond market vigilantes believe the Fed will win the fight against inflation, but when the Fed increases quantitative easing to save bond and stock markets, it will be obvious that not only will the Fed lose the fight against inflation, it will not even enter the ring. See, you replace gold with Bitcoin, and that's exactly true too. Right? But Bitcoin actually rises where gold doesn't. So that's the difference. But ultimately, gold bugs and Bitcoin bugs are the same. They believe in the same thing. They want to hedge against inflation. It's just that one is a digital version of gold and one that keeps going up over time, while the other one has been stagnant for the last 11 years. But it's just funny. If you look at all these comments, it's all, it's like the very first one. Gold is dropping because all the money in the world is going to Bitcoin. It's just really funny. And then, and remember this one. What happens first, gold to 5K or BTC to 50K? Gold 5K for sure. Well, obviously that didn't age well. So yeah, I'm still waiting for a day for Peter to come over to the Bitcoin side, but that may never come. May never come. All right, that's pretty much it. You know, overall, I think today is pretty good. Bitcoin dominance went down even lower, so that kind of shows you how strong some of these altcoins are. So 60.1% about to drop to the 50s, and Ethereum dominance continues to go up 12.6%. So pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. All right, I'll turn to you guys for some Q&A. London cabbie, appreciate that. I lost the NFT war, can't afford anymore. Bob, you didn't lose it. It's not that high yet. Keep going. But I appreciate your bidding though. Kyrie, that's a weird name to spell it, but unique. You mentioned Wu yesterday. You weren't impressed, but I want to make an entry. It's Chronos project. He's backing it. Also Wu Exchange. I don't know who. I don't know Chronos. You're saying that as if I should know who Chronos is. I don't know. I didn't like what they said on their website at all. And despite the fact it could be a good exchange, but their marketing is horrible. And how can you trust? You know, first impressions make a big impact. How can you trust, you know, a company that can't even give reliable or trustworthy data on their webpage? So that's why I dismissed it altogether. I may look at it in the future, but I mean, when they're telling you how much you could save by trading like $50 million or $10 million, yeah, as if anyone is actually like doing that right now. Maybe a few, but majority of people, I don't think are making those trades, and that's just ridiculous. Hannah asks, any thoughts on AMP? Well, I've been saying about AMP, you got to wait it out. When the retailers open up, right now no one's utilizing it. AMP's biggest thing is Flexa, and Flexa's biggest thing is for you to use their app and pay for things at retail stores. But no one is going to retail stores right now. So you have to wait. I think after, you know, this whole pandemic dies down a little bit, people are out and about, I think they'll get some real traction then. Andy, I think that's a troll question. My thoughts on Litecoin. Hey, if Charlie wants to be a sponsor of my Vegas party, I'll say all the good things about Litecoin. But as of right now, I'm going to be nice and say, if you want to store value, just go with the best. And that's Bitcoin. That's simply it. You go buy a store of value. You want to buy something that is deflationary, that's a set supply, that will be adopted by the world as a new digital gold, then you go with Bitcoin. There's absolutely no reason to go with a second store of value. There's no reason for it. KCS, KuCoin token. I like KuCoin a lot. I've been talking about a lot of KuCoin, and mostly because we know that Binance is not open to U.S. residents. A lot of you guys noticed that Binance.us is also not open to, say, Texas or New York or whatever. I don't know why certain states are not open to it, but KuCoin is one that I've been using for a long time. They've been around since 2017, and they have some good tokens on there. And overall, they have a good token burning strategy. They also have like kind of like a dividend kind of thing. So I like KuCoin quite a lot. I like it a lot. Trent, I've already talked about a lot about VeChain. VeChain, I'm glad to see that it's getting some good traction at number 19 It is now above 6 cents. So I've always said VeChain is going to be a top 10 project. That's how good they are. They have so much partnerships, so much usage and adoption, and they're coming out with a VeChain 2.0, which will make things even better. But VeChain is on top of the world. I think it's starting to come up now finally because there's a lot of talk about digital yuan coming out in China and going full blown in crypto. I think that's helping VeChain. But also right now, a lot of blockchain projects are getting attention too. But yeah, it could definitely move up real quick, real quick. You know, it shouldn't even be in top 10. It should be in the top 5. I mean, honestly, that's how good it is. When should we stop dollar cost averaging? Never, in my opinion. You should stop when you feel like there's a top, like Bitcoin has topped out. I just don't see that. I just don't see that. I mean, it's hard to live through crypto winters. But those of you guys that did live through and you dollar cost average, you're all multimillionaires now. I mean, and that was only 3 years. 3 years. You know, during the worst times, it feels really, really bad. Really, really bad. And you question yourself all the time whether or not you're doing the right thing. But had you dollar cost average, even from 20,000, even people that bought at peak in 2017, right? You are more than double. You're 2.5 times. And if you dollar cost averaged at 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, you're way above, right? So for me, I just say when there's bargains and you have money to be able to dollar cost average, you do so. Because I don't think there's going to be any investment going forward in the next 10 years, 20 years within our lifetimes that'll be a better investment than Bitcoin. So that's my thoughts on it. Stop when Lambo arrives. You gotta think bigger than that, man. Think way beyond Lambos. Have I checked out Cody further? I did. I did actually look at them. They actually look pretty good. They actually look pretty good. Cody's one of those ones that's it's a blockchain, but they're really like white labeling payment solutions for other projects. And they do have a lot of things coming up in their roadmap. So I did look at them slightly. They actually look pretty good, in my opinion. Engine is on fire, on fire. So now it's like $1.60 or something. I don't know why this is so slow. Yeah, $1.65. You know, recently they climbed up to like $1.30, and then they dropped to 110, and then I was thinking, yeah, 110 is a pretty good pickup, and since then it went up another 50 cents. Engine is on fire because they're one of the biggest NFT plays out there, if not the biggest. And they have a layer 2 solution coming out. They're also coming out their own blockchain so they could get off Ethereum. They have a lot going for them. So very, very nice. Theta also very nice. Nulls I have not heard much about within the last few weeks. They have been onboarding a lot more clients, utilizing the SEO, basically staking. But Nulls needs to get above like $1 to be really, really bullish. They tend to hover between like 50 cents and like 75 cents, and they keep doing that. So I like to see them go above $1. Once they get real traction, they could climb up really, really fast. They're a really promising blockchain project, but whenever there's like some kind of volatility, Bitcoin goes down, people just sell off their nulls. That's the problem. We need stronger hands with it. I know you, I know you hate Dragon Change, but they're making moves. 2 million transactions on a network one day. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. You can have a lot of fake transactions. I have serious doubt that anyone is utilizing Dragon Chain right now. But since you asked so nicely, I'm going to look at it anyways. Well, they definitely redid their website to make it look business oriented, but when you have like a cartoon dragon as your logo, that still doesn't look very good. All right, so where can I see their partnerships? Articles, maybe? Metrics? Yeah, I'll go look at metrics. They're not at no 2 million transactions per second. This is probably people dumping Dragon Chain. That's why that's why it went up to 2 million. They're like 200,000. They're averaging like 200,000. And even then, this is probably all from like traders that's just trading their coins. This doesn't mean that it's adoption and used by any company. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Dragon Chain at all. OGWT, Energy Web Token. Partner with VW Shell. Okay, it's the biggest partnerships in crypto. Yeah, I don't believe that. That's not the biggest partnership in crypto. I have looked at energy trading before. I mean, they're pretty big. 450 million or 60 million. I don't know. It's big enough where I'll probably do some research on it. But yeah, I like these changes. KuCoin, Kraken, not bad. So I'll look at it. Is Tron a hodl position? Man, you got too much Tron right there, in my opinion. I have no idea what's going on with Tron. It just keeps going lower and lower. They're not. To me, it seems like Justin just bought all these projects and he had no idea how to integrate any of them. There's no reason to come out with all these tokens. TRX should have been the dominant token on all these platforms. Once he bought Steam, he should have just made it so that they only use TRX. Once he bought BitTorrent, he should have just made it to use TRX. Instead, he wanted to pay for the project. That's why he came out the BDD token. Same thing with the Sun Network. Same thing with all these things that have different tokens, but they're all they're supposed to be integrated, but they're not. He bought DLive. And, TRX is not used on there either. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. I've been off the Tron bandwagon for a long time. Someone sent me some big email about Harmony, and I kind of glanced at them too. Harmony also looks like a pretty good blockchain. I have to do a deeper dive, but Harmony also looks pretty good to me. I'm not a fan of IOTA at all. They still have not gotten rid of their coordinator node. So until then, yeah, no. Projections, I can't give you a projection on Harmony yet. I don't like Hashgraph. It's too corporate. It's not open source. So I don't like them. Even though they seem to have some good partnerships, but in this space, you gotta be less corporate and more decentralized, because that's the whole point of crypto. Phantom is pretty good. Phantom has a lot. Andre, no, I think it's Andrew Kronhei. All his DeFi projects moving to Phantom, including SushiSwap. They've already made the transition. There's a lot that's moved to Phantom. And they have their own DeFi. They have a bridge also to bring ERC20 tokens to it. So Phantom is pretty good. I like Phantom. What is wrong with BNB? There's nothing wrong with BNB. It's sitting at number 4. So what is wrong? It's even above Cardano. Sometimes when chains go up really, 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 really quickly, They take a breather, just like Cardano has taken a breather ever since it passed $1. Same thing with Binance Coin, same thing with Polkadot. But these guys are in their $30+ billion, so there's nothing wrong with them at all. Rich buddy, I don't think he gets off, man. I don't think he gets off. I think he kind of screwed himself. He has IRS going after him, and now the SEC going after him, or whoever's going after him. Serious charges. Ecomi will be big, but the app is slow. Yeah, they could be big. I think they need to do better, and also their exchanges is holding them back. But I think they could be. I think they could be a big player in NFT space. Amal, I don't know where your super chat is. It probably disappeared. Yeah, it's not there. Are the top NFTs right now too late to buy? No. No. I'm assuming you're referring to this list. No, none of these are too late to buy. You could see that the top 10 basically have all gone up tremendously. I just covered about Chiliz, why they're so hot. Talked about Engine. Theta, of course, is also very hot. They're not just an NFT play. They're way more than that, but that's why they're so hot. Flow is just getting started. They're huge. Decentraland and Wax, they're both coming up in a big way. Origin Protocol also, and then you got a few others. Yeah, NFTs is really hot right now. It's not going to go away anytime soon. I'll just ask it because it disappeared. After a certain amount of time, they disappear and I can't look at it. I don't like Pundy. I don't like Pundy at all. Let's see if they've changed. Their claim to fame was like they had these, terminals that you go ship out, and it was never to scale. And then their token was meant to be used as a payment solution, and that didn't really go anywhere. So. Yeah, they're still in the same space. I don't know. Nigeria, Singapore, Brazil. I wonder if they actually have any adoption at all. Before, when I checked them out in 2017, they said they shipped out 5,000 terminals. I'd like to see what the updated number is. So I don't know if they show that at all, but I've always been neutral on Pundy. I've never caught that hype. Colin asks, when we see market caps between 100 million to 300 million, are 50, 100 times possible? I think that's why people show you microcap. Of course, I know why people show me microcaps, because they want to become millionaires overnight, and some of them are lottery tickets, but 99.9% of them are not. That's why I focus more on fundamentals, what they're trying to do, their team breakup, what kind of true adoption they have, rather than just all hype. You look at $100 million crypto, that's considered like the beginning of a mid cap, but there's still low cap. Can it go 10x to a billion? Sure. Can they go up to 100x to 10 billion? Maybe someday, but very unlikely. There's not that many projects that's 10 billion right now, right? Can they go up higher than that unless they become the next Cardano? Probably not, until the entire market cap goes up in a big way. So it's not really about whether or not it could go up 50x or 100x. It's about who could actually go up the fastest, right? A lot of these are pump and dumps, so they may go up a little bit and then they just come right back down. But a lot of the good projects, they continue to make small gains over time. And those are the ones that have the great fundamentals. So those are the ones I like to concentrate on. Because Kent, Akash network doesn't make any sense. Big companies, mid-sized companies are not going to move from their cloud services to a decentralized cloud service that is not proven. That's what I'm talking about. I've worked in IT for decades. They're not going to do it. So, not to say that they won't get to that space, but they need to prove themselves. They need to get a lot of clients on board, and they could say that, hey, we have 100 clients running on a decentralized cloud platform, so it is reliable, it's robust, it doesn't go down, and it's cheaper. Once that happens, then yeah, I'll be all on board with that. But if they're just going and say, hey, we're cheaper than AWS, so Netflix, you should just move to the Kosh network. Do you think Netflix is going to do that? No, they're not. Decentralized social network Hyper. I think they were started by the guy that started Mithril. Is that the guy? Yeah, they're too small. They're probably dead. Polka City. All right, last one. You know what? I'm going to have a new rule. If you guys want me to look at some new unknown project that's like sub 50 million market cap, you're going to have to give a lot more than $2 for me to look at it. I'm getting burned out by looking at all these SHIT coins. Amazing virtual investment experience. Okay, just from that line, I'm not going to look at it. Trying way too hard to try to get you to buy it. All right. Overall, that's it. Bitcoin is still battling that 51,000 battle. But you know what? The bears, whether it's F2 Pool, whether it's some other party, they're going to lose. There's just too much going on around the world. Too much money that's flowing into Bitcoin, and it's an unstoppable force. The battle is futile. But in the meantime, it gives us opportunity to dollar cost average and get some bargains. And there are a lot of bargains out there. There's a lot of altcoins that show real promise. And I've been covering more and more. So hopefully you guys have been paying attention because they are very up and coming. And I think they're going to do great in the future. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for my late night stream tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right.